is going on? It is Gino Bonino. This is going to be part two of the haul video that I was showing earlier. This one, I've got a lot more books, so I'm going to do a lot less BSing. Just a couple quick things. Number one is, since my last video, there's been some changes, specifically to our living conditions and also to the comic industry in specific. So I'll address the first thing first, which is, in essence, we've been told we must social distance. New York City and a lot of the other bigger cities have shut down, things like that. All I can say is, once again, guys, I would suggest, it's a lot easier said than done, but don't panic. Try to do stuff at home that will take your attention off of, I would say, get away from the news. We all know what's going on. We know the situation. We know what's happening. To keep having it pounded down our throat every day isn't going to help anything. On the other hand, it's good to be aware, be educated, know what you're supposed to do and not do, etc. Let the politicians take care of the other stuff. Again, that's what they're paid to do. I know they're not really doing a bang-up job of it. None of them. There's a lot of bickering going on about how we should do the stimulus. Should we give it to corporations? Should we give it to private sector? I'll let people that are more educated than me make that decision. I have my opinion on it, but again, I have made a long-standing promise to myself not to get into political or religious talk, just simply because I realize that it's deep-seated in everybody. And to be honest with you, you're not going to change anybody's mind. Everybody is pretty much set on what they believe, and they're going to go with that. So again, I'm not going to try to change anybody's mind, that's sure. Same as you can't tell people that the earth isn't flat. If that's what they want to believe, God bless them. They'll figure it out someday themselves. But anyway, enough of that. Comic books. The big thing that happened is Diamond is going to quit distributing, which is really has people freaked out. What I would say is is temporary. There's profit to be made in comic books, so I have a feeling that once they get things figured out, it will get worked out. I don't think we're going to go to all digital. No way. It can't happen. But it brings me to my T-shirt, which there's a lot of comic shops that are hurting, guys. They're hurting. And I get it. It's a business. That's what happens. Some work, some don't. But what I would say is, if you can support your LCS, do it. Mainly because if they're gone, trust me, it's your options. I know you got eBay. I know you've got various, online options and things of that nature. But once again, part of this community, part of this hobby, works only because we do have local comic book shops to go to and whatnot. It's a place where it brings in new blood into the hobby, things of that nature. It's not just meant to be there for those of us that have done this for a while. A lot of times people walk into a shop because it looks interesting. They'll ask the owner a little something and he'll explain, and it gets them interested into the hobby. They know they thought comic book collecting was one thing, and they find out there's a lot more to it that's interesting and stuff of that nature. So like I said, I would suggest supporting your LCS as best you can. Most of them right now are having big sales anyway because they're trying to move inventory and get some cash. So now would be a good time to pick up that thing that you've seen on the wall that you want. In regards to back issues, what I would say is happening is what in the stock market they call correction, which means stuff's going to drop. I don't think it's going to drop forever. I think a lot of your blue chip, and this is why I've always recommended sticking with blue chip, first appearance, Silver Age, Golden Age, even some newer books, is because they tend to hold their value through this sort of thing. When money gets tight, collectibles sometimes become a viable way for people to hang on to stuff. If luckily in the last many years we haven't had a lot of inflation, but when inflation goes up, what that basically means is the $300 you have in the bank that you put in a long time ago doesn't have that same spending capacity that it does today. The turnaround of this is if you have something of value, gold, silver, comic books, coins, stamps, etc., stuff that holds value and that there will be a demand for, that's worth the same money as it was typically when you put it there. Now, it may have gone down, I get it, but when it goes back up, it often surpasses the amount of inflation. So that's what I'm talking about. I get it. Somebody says, that's why it's always a gamble to pay top dollar for, pay full market value of a collectible, because you don't know if something like this isn't going to happen, and then all of a sudden you get stuck with something that's gone way down. The best policy always is to look for deals, look for bargains, look for stuff that's 50% off. Comic book shops all the time have 50% off sales when they want to move inventory. The reason is they pay about 10 cents on the dollar for a book. And if they can still make a profit, it's worth selling. Same thing that I look at it. I'm not always going to make top dollar. A lot of people lose sleep and twist and turn and have a complete fit. If they sell something for $400, the next day it could be sold for $450. Oh my God, I missed out on $50. Turn that around. If you spent $100 for that, or you bought it off the shelf, you are almost making, other than the price to get the thing slabbed and whatnot, you're almost making pure profit. So again, nobody ever went broke making a profit. Don't be afraid to sell a book, and don't look back and sit and lament and have a fit and lose sleep and sweat and all this over the fact that you didn't get top dollar on a comic book. That stuff happens. But again, and maybe the person that bought it will turn around and flip it and make that extra $50. And it just kind of keeps things rolling downhill. Another big rule to remember: you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. If you can hopefully get more winners than losers, or the dollar amount on your winners is more than your losers, it all evens out. You actually make out better. So nobody is going to make maximum dollars on every book that they flip or sell or do whatever. That's just the way it is. It's a law of the land. And I think too many people get all freaked out when they sell a book for some money and it goes up. That's crazy. That's the way the hobby works. Luckily, you're not the person that bought a $1,000 or $2,000 Walking Dead one, and then all of a sudden it drops in price, and you're sitting there saying, "Oh my God, what did I do?" That's why those sort of purchases sometimes are questionable. To be really honest with you, and I don't want to dig in on anybody, but I often question the price of ratio variance, 100 to 1 and stuff. I get it, they're rare. But I also wonder how many people are going to buy something like that when money gets tight. There's an audience, there's a crowd for it, and typically those people are well off. Those people have enough money and disposable income where they can do that. But to most comic book collectors, and that's what I'm looking at, most comic book collectors, most of them, they want first appearance, they want blue chip, Silver Age, things of that nature. So just keep that in mind going down the road. Again, I'm not preaching. I'm not telling anybody you buy what you want and read what you want and all that. That's great. But I'm just telling you from an investment standpoint, there is good, sound, logic way to do things that help out a lot in your going forward. And also, what happens is when people get burned, they tend to turn their back on the hobby. That's what happened in the 90s. The 90s wasn't so much a bubble where people lost a shitload full of money and took off. It's that they thought they were going to make a ton of money, and when they found that they didn't, and their books weren't instantly going up, and they found that there was a lot of stuff printed and they couldn't sell it for what they thought it should go for based on what markets were saying and all this, they lost their appetite for the hobby and they walked away from it. They said, "I'll go do something else because I just lost my ass in it," which kind of gets away from the whole purpose of what comic books are for, which are to read and enjoy and whatnot. If you're just buying them strictly for investments, you can get yourself burned, and that's what happened, unfortunately. So that's my preaching for today. I would say is what I'm trying to say is this: if you've got some nice collectibles, hang on to them. They're going to go down in value. It's just part of the thing. They're correcting right now. And also what a correction means is that certain stuff was overvalued. I think I'm just going to pick a book out of the blue. It's been talked about quite a bit. Spider-Man 300, 9.8 CGC, I think has been overvalued for a while now. That's my own personal opinion on it. I don't mean it's not a great book. Venom's a great character. McFarlane's a great artist. It has a million things going for it. It's an iconic cover, all that. But it's not worth $2,000 some odd dollars. That's insane. That's insane. Are you kidding me? You can buy a damn nice, hell, you can buy a low copy first Iron Man for that. An Iron Man's somebody that's been in the public eye for a long, long time now. He's something that's probably going to go on and go on and go on and go on. Venom is great. Not saying he's a bad character. All I'm saying is 9.8 to me, and it's just me talking. I'm a small, it's just one person. I think $2,000 or $3,000 for a modern book is insane. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. So let's go forward. These are things that I ordered actually before things got bad. They took a while to get here, and for that reason, I might as well show them. These actually came last couple days. This is an eBay buy. I did a snipe. Basically, I sniped this, if I'm going to be honest with you. Um, what this buyer did, and I'm going to talk about it a little later, he had this priced at $99 as um, his opening um, introductory price, if you will. And it scared a lot of people away. A lot of people see it for $2, $3, $4. They say, I'm going to put a bid on it. I might end up getting it for $20. Of course, that rarely happens. But nonetheless, everybody's attention goes towards that book. And when they see this one with a starting price of $99, they think, holy shit, that's kind of expensive. I'm not even going to mess with it. So what I did is I put a snipe bid on it at actually $103, which still would have been, I think, right at GPA, maybe just a little bit below. And sure enough, nobody messed with it. It went through, and with 5 seconds left, I sniped it, and I ended up getting it for exactly that, $99. In my opinion, a great book, especially the fact that the announcement just came out yesterday that looks like they are going to move forward eventually with the Thunderbolts. So again, good pickup. I probably shouldn't. I usually don't talk about what I pay for stuff just because then if I go to sell it, people get all pissed off and salty if they say, you're asking double money for it, whatever. But nonetheless, I'm just kind of demonstrating that this is one thing you can find on eBay. Everybody looks for the ones where they're starting 99 cents and $1.05 and all that. I do kind of the opposite. I look for books where they have a huge, or excuse me, at least a higher than some opening bid, because these get less eyeballs. These get less attention. People are like, I'm not going to mess with that because I want to get the book for $70. I don't want to pay $99. To me, $99 is a good deal on it. So there you go. Next is a couple YouTube slabs that I got from Z Collects. As you know, Z Collects is a She-Hulk aficionado. Got this one. I actually won another one from him that's in the mail, 8.0. I just feel like this book in any grade is worth having, especially, again, based on certain price points, etc. And this one I got along with this. And this one, the newer She-Hulk #1, I just kind of like the aesthetics of it. I like the simplicity of the kind of funky red background with the She-Hulk against it. The whole run kind of has this aesthetic to it. It's got there's one she's pregnant and one she's making fun of stuff and whatnot, and also it kind of is meta. It breaks the fourth dimension, how she's holding up a copy of the first book and all that. There's just a lot of stuff. So I've always kind of wanted this book. It didn't really matter what grade it came in, so I really liked that it was part of the auction. And along with that came A-Force #1, which is, as it turns out, might be a really good book to have. This is, I think, one of those that right now is a sleeper. People know about it, but they're not going crazy about it. And A-Force was kind of teased in the Avengers movie at the very end, where all the women came out and did their own little kick-ass scene, if you will. This is, of course, a different team, but again, kind of gave you an idea of what that was all about. So again, I felt a good book. This is my first and only copy of it. I really was sort of unaware of it, and then I started studying up on A-Force, and it turned out to be kind of a good, turned out to be better than I had anticipated when I got my hands on it. And again, that came along in the auction. So the auction was the two She-Hulk #1s, and then the A-Bomb or A-Force #1 as well. Then I'm going to show you some more, and I'm going to rat-a-tat-tat through them simply because I know this is going to get long. Right now we are at 14 minutes, and I have only shown 3 books, so that's crazy. So we're going to rat-a-tat-tat through them. I'll try to keep the commentary down to nothing. This is one that I would definitely have in the sell category because the little bit we do know about the Red Guardian in the Black um, Widow movie is that I don't think he's going to stick around for the second episode. So um, he's not a character that's going to have a lot of, unfortunately, longevity is not going to be his strong suit. But I, because the movie got pushed back, I felt it was good to kind of have that one little last hurrah. So I got it for what I felt was a decent price. I jumped at it. If I do end up getting stuck with it, it's a book that I can live with. I would like to have a copy in my PC. Um, it doesn't have to be a high grade copy. Again, this one satisfies me perfect. If I get stuck with this, I'm not going to lose any sleep about it. Again, it does have a few issues. It has a few creases and color breaking creases and stuff like that. But again, it's good enough. If I do, I'll probably try to flip it on eBay when things kind of settle back down and see what I can do. If I can't do anything and I get stuck with it, I'll be perfectly happy with that. This I got from Chad. He had this. I think Chad's a big Batman dude. So he was into this. This is a Jim Lee cover of Batman 610, notably because I think it's the first kiss, if I remember right, between Catwoman and our good man Bruce. Batman, yeah, they're both in costume, so it's Batman and Catwoman. Signed by Jim Lee up there. I crossed the title and with a COA. I stopped showing my last video at 89. This is 90. This is also from Chad, separate, actually same lot of books. And this is really what I was bidding on from the get-go. The other book was sort of a ride-along. This is Long Halloween. I do not have a copy of this, so I'm glad that I have it. This one is actually in pretty good condition for being a square-bound book. As you know, the problem with these square-bound Batman books is the second you read them, if you're not super careful with the cover and you open them, they leave a big old color breaking crease down the complete front spine where you open the page, because the page is kind of has I don't know what you'd say, like a couple millimeters of glue, and then the cover starts, and so when you open it, it leaves that big old white thing down it. So you got to kind of watch for that. But again, on the other hand, it's not my favorite cover in the world. Frankly, a little bit zoogly, but a good book to have on hand just in case the Batman movie kind of follows. I think they're going to be borrowing things from different sources, and I think that's going to be one of them. This is the other Batman 90, and this is actually my more favorite of the two covers. What I really like about this, I don't, and I could be wrong, I'm not the hugest Batman reader in the world, is I like how the Riddler has the question marks carved into his face. It's sort of creepy. I think that's a question mark crap in his face, isn't it? I don't know, but I'm guessing it is. Anyway, he's a scarred up dude. So I just think I'm trying to get away from the glare. I'm very sorry. Maybe if I put it here, it'll give you a better idea of what it is. There we go. Batman 90 B cover. Blue Beetle number 3. This is a reintroduction of Peacemaker, and it was hot for a minute. We'll see if Blue Beetle's been funny. It's kind of a hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Along with this is Booster Gold. I got this into the auction win. I have a couple number ones, and this tends to be a series that sells well if you sell it as a series. So when I found two really sweet copies of number 2 and then some number 3s, this was the same lot, I decided to take a chance. Again, it was definitely a good price. I did well, and now if I decide Booster Gold, something ever comes out of it, as we heard might happen, and then number 4, I have the I have the entire series, so you can sometimes market it that way, and it'll do a little better. Captain America 341. This is a first battle of these two guys, Cap and Frank Castle, the Punisher, and it's a newsstand copy. Another thing is it's just a super iconic cover. I think this is more of a cover book than anything else. The story is good, but just the idea that um, Frank has his foot on Cap's shield is just, it's just a kind of a badass statement without any words or anything like that. It's just cool. Um, Frank Miller did this. He again, Frank Miller. I think he used to do really good stuff. I think he's just gone a little off his rocker a little bit. Captain America 323 with the anniversary border, all the Marvel characters. This is the first John Walker, which we know for sure is going to be um, in the Falcon and Captain America Disney Plus show. He becomes the U.S. agent here. I assume this may be before in the series that's coming on TV. I know one of the things is he takes the formula, the super soldier formula. Whether he takes it or gets it forcefully injected in him, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know if this is pre or after. I'm sure there's going to be one thing where he's one superhero, if you will, gets the injection, turns into another, and this may be pre that. But he's U.S. agent here, and this again the 25th anniversary border. This is 333. This is where John Walker becomes the new Captain America. So if I had to guess the way the plot, and I don't want to be a spoiler here, I'm guessing that he's a U.S. agent prior. They tell him if you want to become Captain America and and get his shield and all that kind of stuff, you have to take the super soldier serum. I'll try saying that fast. And he does. So this is probably where that happens in the series. This is Captain America 341. This is first Lamar Hopkins as Battlestar, or is it Hoskins? Excuse me. First Rock Python, left and right winger, etc. And one thing I didn't know, actually, another YouTuber pointed this out. This is a cover swipe almost directly of Daredevil 43. 43. And I'll show you. I'll put a picture of it up here. I looked at it, and it's exactly the same perspective. The only difference is this character, Iron Man, is Captain America, and I don't know who he's punching in the book. I'll have to check it out. This is 354. This is John Walker becomes U.S. agent. So I assume once again, so he is basically in the series of 20 issues or 15 or so issues, gone from one character to another to another. So this is what he looks like. Basically, it's kind of a Captain America spin-off. Captain Marvel #1, the end #1, excuse me. Basically, what the end was, for those of you who didn't read, it was kind of like how the character meets their demise, or what happens to them at the end of their career, if you will, superhero career. And this is the death of Captain Marvel. She dies in this one. And again, it's out of continuity. Doesn't follow the same, as everything else. The interesting thing about this is Peach Momoko. It's her cover. She is kind of a new up-and-comer female artist. The cool thing about her is her style is sort of, I guess the easiest way to explain it, if you're familiar with watercolor paints, she looks like she does the original almost in watercolors. It might be something like that. Sort of if you notice, the face has kind of like 2 or 3 tones to it. That's very typical of watercolor. Also, the hair having kind of lighter and darker and stuff like that. It's, again, sort of an interesting style. Not seen a lot in comic books. Comic books are known more for bright, vibrant stuff, and she's more deals in pastel colors and nuance and whatnot, but still a kind of a cool. Definitely can see some Asian influence. I don't know if she's I assume she's Japanese, but anyway, just kind of a cool cover. Cloak and Dagger #1. Nothing super significant about this other than it's the first part of the miniseries. Some Frank Miller Daredevil, getting back to him. This is just an iconic cover of Daredevil's mask on the Sith or Scythe or this sharp pointy thing there. 185 continues Frank Miller run. Frank Miller run on Daredevil, #200. Looks like Bullseye's having a bad day here. The Frank Miller run on Daredevil is one of those things where it kind of it's sort of hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. You can either find it for $1 or you find it for $10. So again, it's one of those things where it all depends on where you are getting it, when it is in what season. Is it the flavor of the day, or is it kind of something that people are forgetting about? I would say now with the Daredevil main series being hot, probably it's getting a little bit more attention on this. People are going on back issues and stuff and reading more Daredevil. And I would guess that's where the interest is because I've seen times where it's almost next to nothing. Again, I've seen times where it's really pricey. Picked up a couple of these. They were kind of tag-along books in auctions I've won. Darker Image won. Mainly notable for the first Max story, or kind of a preview story. A book that you could get, I mean, it had no respect whatsoever, kind of a 50-cent book, and then all of a sudden it got to be more notable when there was some news that they were going to do some stuff with the Max, so it got a little love of that. My first video, I showed my Doc Savage slab. These are the two books that came with that auction. This is #2 and #4. Just, again, not super pricey books, not a ton of people. It's not on a lot of want lists, if you will, but I just love them. I mean, I think they're great books, and again, just epitomize sort of the art from this time period. Eternals #4. Nothing really super major happens here, and the Eternals again is one of those. It got super hot, and then all of a sudden cooled off when there was more talk of other Marvel stuff coming down the line. My guess, if I had to guess, I would say when the movie finally does start getting some proper publicity and whatnot, that all these issues will have kind of their second wind, if you will. So again, it's good just to keep them in the old PC and let them age gracefully. Same thing with this book. This is the Eternals third series. This is written by Neil Gaiman, who's very famous, I think, for Sandman and other things. This is the first Morjak, I don't know, or Goat. And my understanding is, for people that know a little bit about the plot line of the movie, they said it's supposed to take some plot things from this book. So we'll see. Might make it a good book. Typically you can find it for next to nothing. I bought a couple copies from my LCS just because they were having sales of $352. This is the first Minutemen, who are kind of the police force that do the TV, the Time Variance Association, or whatever they're called, TVA. And basically what they do is people that zone in and out of different times that should or shouldn't, they keep track of that so it doesn't screw up, it doesn't screw up things like you have McFly's legs disappearing and stuff like that. So that's kind of the story here. Fantastic Four '94. This is the first Agatha Harkness. She's the white-haired nanny, if you will, that was sent down basically to keep an eye on Franklin Richards because she knew that he was super powerful before we, the readers, knew. We thought he was just kind of a baby from Reed and Sue. Turns out that he was as we found out, super powerful character. And I think she was sent kind of be his guardian, if you will, um, to make sure that he didn't get in trouble and get kidnapped and things of that nature. It's the first mention of him, and again, he goes on to be bigger and better. When I was reading Fantastic Four, he actually was not yet powerful. He was just a baby, so we didn't really know, that he was going to be who he was. And it's the first Ebony, who's the pet cat, that goes on to be more than a cat. First Galactus book, standalone book. Mainly, this is just a reprint of other Galactus stories. Still kind of a hot book. It went from dollar to hot overnight. Just got these, some Silver Age. Not really keys, but just excellent covers, beautiful books to have. Green Lantern 22 and 32, I believe. Oh, wait, sorry, 22 and 72. 32's here. So these are just cool books. Again, not really super keys. I don't necessarily need to have keys. I just love Silver Age books. They are excellent. This one, I guess this was before political correctness, because our good buddy here is doing a little self-harm. So that was that. And we've got Hell Horizon number 3. These are the first print. And of course, what DC's doing is their second print looks like this. Very easy to mistake the two if you're not kind of aware of it. If you're just a rookie or a noob collector, that's one thing that I don't like when they do that. Because you do see some people, unscrupulous buyers or sellers on eBay sometimes, that will list this book and just call it Hell Horizon 3 and not explain that it's second print. I guess that's up to they figure it's up to the buyer to figure that out himself. I think to me it's a little shady thing to do. That's just my own opinion. But this is a second. It's kind of a more red tone, where the first print is more of a yellow tone. You see that too with like New Mutants. What is it? 84. The gold and whatnot. They'll a lot of times. I see it with Spider-Man 361 too, where they'll put up the silver and not say that it's the second print. I guess they figure that buyer beware, but I think it's a little shady. I think tell everybody as much as you know about the book, and then let them make a educated decision after that. At least there's no surprises. Totally Awesome Hulk number 1, first Amadeus Cho, and again, this book was basically $1. There's a ton of them printed, but there's some. There's going to be Avengers beyond the Avengers. So when that happens, are they going to use him or Hulkling or what? So it's not a bad book to have. Put in the PC, let it age gracefully, like I call it. Hulk number 1, first Red Hulk. Again, this kind of got another little degree of heat put on it with in the last couple days, with the idea that there definitely is going to be a Red Hulk. General Ross, I guess that's kind of what the plot of Black Widow's about. Again, don't want to give it away too much, so sorry if I spoiled that for you, but I guess we all kind of knew that. He is looking to get the super soldier serum, and I think he ends up taking it and becomes Red Hulk. Hulk 305, a beautiful book, real nice copy. Look at that spine. I pressed this, I just got it from Hack, and pressed this myself, cleaned it up a little bit. This is first Missing Link. He's that ugly pink guy with the big bulging eyes. And 115, this is the first fight between Hulk and Submariner. Again, a cool book. And I guess is it the first 15-cent issue? They were all 12 before this. Invincible number 1. Just a cool cover, very low print run for the time. Some idea that this may become something, a cartoon or a movie or whatever. So again, not a bad book to have. Long Shot number 4. Nothing really major happens in this book other than I want to get all 4 copies, and the mini-series all by itself tends to be a little bit pricey, so I'm going to just see if I can pick up individuals. Once again, another 12 center, not a key, but a cool book. Jimmy Olsen and his Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. What number is this? 20, is it 27 or 77? 27, I think. Just a big Jimmy Olsen. Justice Society of America, ton of first appearances. And again, a book that's gotten a little heat just because apparently it's going to get some movie play. Great series for readers. It had a little bit of heat to it. Lois Lane, this is 7, and then 8, and 7 is in the middle. I mean, 7's over here, 8 is in the middle, and the B cover's on the right here. This is the first Kiss of Death, sort of Lois Lane's version of Punchline, if you will. And the thing that I liked about this, I just liked the blue of this cover. It just really popped. Don't see them use blue too often in covers. Marvel Fanfare, 10, 11, 12. Kind of hot now because of Iron Maiden. This is her first appearance in costume, and you can tell that they're going to use the character. If you've looked in the kind of the one scene where they show the preview of Black Widow, they show that room, that kind of the supply room, and if you look behind, you can see the Iron Maiden mask. Marvel Spotlight number 12, first Son of Satan, Damien. My understanding is the cartoon, this is going to be a cartoon series, almost done, almost ready to hit the screen. Almost done, guys. Moon Knight number 38, got this as a dollar book, and the cool thing about it, didn't even know this when I bought it, I just liked the black cover, and it was in pretty decent shape. It wasn't great, but it wasn't tore up. Too bad. Last book of the series, so typically last books are good just because by the time a book is canceled, normally the readership is down, which means the print run is down, which means it's rare. So, and then the restart up Moon Knight number 1. Morbius number 1. This is mainly famous for the Delato cover. Delato is pretty famous for his characters coming from the dark out to the light, which Morbius is doing here. I've won a couple Novas, kind of what I would call high mid grade books. Oblivion Song number 1. We've got the normal and the pink variant signature. Again, super hot book, then it kind of quieted down. My guess is once it starts kind of making the news again, it'll heat back up. First Sandman, the first Corinthian, which is that nightmare dude with that has face, that has teeth for eyes and all that. Supposed to be in the series. Another Silver Age that I got along with the Green Lanterns that I showed earlier. Superman, I believe 127. I think it's cut off. He did a bad job of wrapping this book, and there's a lot of, it's not trimmed, it's just there's a lot on the bottom but not on the top. I think it's 127, could be wrong. And then my Secret Wars, I got as one group, 2, 4, 5, 10, 11, and 12. A lot of first appearances in here. All I would tell folks, if you see them cheap, get them. The talk of the town is that eventually this is going to be made into a long kind of a series of Marvel movies. So if you see Secret Wars, get them. Last but not least, Young Avengers number 3. I believe it's 3. Yep. First, Iron Lad, who becomes Kang the Conqueror. later on, and Kang may be a big player going forward. Another Secret Wars 12. And then, like I said, I went to the LCS. I'm just trying to show some support. He had a few of these in there, so I bought them. This is Hulk 282, first team up of Hulk and She-Hulk. Don't know if that'll be a big thing. It's kind of one like the What If book where Jane Foster becomes Thor. It kind of more follows a plot line than a character, but nonetheless, the price is right. I did get one of these Nightwing 70. Not so much what happened here, and there's a lesson to be learned here. A lot of people thought this was going to be in date-wise the first Punchline. They thought he was going to make a cameo here. It turns out that if you were one of those folks that paid $40 on eBay, you got a little bit of a surprise when you found out that didn't happen. But what this is the first book in the Joker War. So for that reason, it's not a bad book to have just to hang on to, because the Joker War may turn into be a big, sort of like Secret Wars did. It may turn into be like a big happening, and people will want the entire series. And this is the last thing I got. I got this as an eBay win. Once again, I sniped this. This is Marvel Preview number 3. The first Afari, who is kind of the he is to Blade as I want to say Switch or Kane or whatever the hell it is to Iron Fist, kind of his mentor. And this is an early Blade appearance. Cool cover and really good shape. So again, couldn't go wrong. So that is everything I have to show, guys. I'm sorry to drivel on. God, 41 minutes. That's insane. Thanks for watching. Please, please, please be careful out there. Take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Take along some. What I do is for those times I can't wash my hands, I take along some hand sanitizer. What I've been doing with it, they say it's not powerful enough all by itself. So use a little bit at home, and then if you have some rubbing alcohol, dump some in there, make it stronger, shake it up, and it'll kill just about anything that you put on it. So that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Gino Bonino. Leave a like if you like what I said. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you liked or if I screwed up and there's an issue number I said wrong or an artist or whatever. And again, I've been enjoying everybody's books that you've been showing, auctions, whatnot. Thing about this is we do need, once again, guys, to stick together. There's a lot of brotherhood, sisterhood in the comic book community. I think that's important that we keep that going. Support one another, support your LCS, support comic books. Thank you, guys. Again, as you could tell, I'm hoarse. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.